you ever felt like you're doing everything right, and still, money refuses to recognize you? It's not a lack of talent. It's not a lack of effort. It's simply that you've been using the wrong key to open the same locked door. Wealth doesn't respond to muscle. It responds to a state of consciousness that lives inside you. A frequency, a rhythm, a vibration that most people never learn to hear. It's not about chasing money. It's about remembering the harmony that calls it in. Because money doesn't come through effort. It comes through alignment. Napoleon Hill discovered this while observing the most prosperous men of his time. Every single one of them thought from abundance before they had it. And decades later, Bob Proctor proved it. His transformation didn't begin with a business. It began with a single thought. He chose to hold until the world itself had no choice but to obey. Today, you'll understand why the seed of abundance is already planted inside your mind and how to make it grow. Money isn't the beginning. It's the reflection. It appears the moment a new invisible cause is born within you. A clear idea, sustained and fed by faith. That's the law Hill called the transmutation of thought into wealth. There's nothing mystical about it. It's spiritual precision. Everything that exists was first a thought. Someone dared to hold long enough. Yet here lies the greatest mistake. Most people try to change their bank account without changing the mental script that controls it. That script, your belief system, runs silently every day, dictating what you deserve, how much you can receive, and how long you'll keep it. Bob Proctor used to say, "Nothing moves in your outer world until something moves in your inner world." And he was right. Money doesn't come when you need it. It comes when you become the kind of person who can handle it. In the next few minutes, I won't talk to you about formulas. I'll talk to you about living laws. Laws that aren't taught in school, but are discovered when you realize your thoughts are quietly shaping your destiny. When you finally grasp this truth, you'll stop chasing money, and money will start chasing you. Before we go deeper, remember this. Napoleon Inspires isn't just another channel. It's a sanctuary where the universal laws of mind and wealth turn into real experience. If these words are resonating right now, it's because your consciousness is ready for the next level. Subscribe, leave your mark with a like, and share this message with someone who's ready to awaken faith in their own abundance. Now ask yourself, what are you willing to transform within so money can finally flow without resistance? Your answer might be the first step of an entirely new cycle in your life. There comes a moment when the soul gets tired of working hard without results, tired of giving everything and seeing nothing change, tired of watching money walk in the front door and slip out through the cracks of fear. Maybe you felt it too, that quiet frustration when you look at your effort and ask, why am I still in the same place? It's not laziness. It's not lack of intelligence. It's unconscious self-sabotage, an invisible enemy living inside your mind. And you didn't create it. It was planted there by family beliefs, by a society that told you prosperity was dangerous, by voices that repeated, there's never enough. You can't. That's not for you. Every time you accepted those words, a part of your potential went silent. Your body kept moving forward, but your mind got stuck in the past. Bob Proctor explained it simply. You live in two worlds, the physical and the mental. The first obeys the second, but most people try to fix the physical world, while their mind remains unchanged. So they repeat the same thoughts, searching for new opportunities, with the same old consciousness that rejects them. And when the result repeats, they call it bad luck. But it's not luck. It's programming. Look at yourself with compassion. There's no guilt here, just a mind that learned to survive in lack and forgot how to live in abundance. The first step isn't working harder. It's thinking differently, because when you change the root, the fruit changes by itself. That's where reprogramming begins, not by fighting the past, but by teaching your mind who you really are. And when you do, what's missing will begin to find you. Bob used to say, I didn't change my life because I understood money. I changed it because I understood my mind. He started exactly where many people give up. Broke, confused, in debt. He earned $4,000 a year and owed $6,000. No education, no opportunities, no support. Until one day, a man handed him a book, and a sentence that burned into his soul. If you do exactly what I tell you, you can have anything you want. The book was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Bob didn't understand it at first, but he decided to believe. That decision was the turning point. Not because of knowledge, but because of spiritual obedience, faith and possibility. He was told to do one simple thing. Write a goal on a small card, carry it everywhere, and read it aloud every day until it became part of his identity. It sounded absurd, but he did it. Each reading washed away the noise in his mind. He stopped thinking about debt and started thinking about results. He stopped cursing his situation and began blessing his opportunities. That simple card became a portal, not because of the paper, but because of the thought that lived inside it. Within a year, his income had grown to $170,000. In 5 years, he earned over $1 million. But the real treasure wasn't the money. It was the revelation. Hill's words weren't motivational. They were scientific law. Everything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. When Bob realized that life is the mirror of belief, he devoted his entire existence to teaching this truth. It wasn't the money that changed me, he said. It was the consciousness of deserving it. And that consciousness, my friend, is not reserved for a few. It's within you right now, waiting for your command to awaken. That's why you're here, not to admire another story, but to remember your own. If Bob, a man with no education or connections, could rewrite his destiny by changing one idea, what could happen? If you chose a new belief today and held it with the same faith, the human mind is the most fertile soil in the universe. Yet most people plant without knowing what they sow. Bob called it the paradigm, a collection of beliefs, emotions, and habits that control 95% of your life. Without asking permission, it's the autopilot that makes you repeat the same results, even if you change jobs, partners, or countries. It's not fate, it's programming. Hill saw the same pattern in the world's most successful people. They all had a mental image that matched their success before they achieved it. While everyone else tried to change circumstances, they changed their inner picture first. Your paradigm is that invisible image that shapes your visible life. It determines how much money you can receive, how much love you think you deserve, and even which limits you believe are real. Picture your mind as a house with 2 rooms. The upper room, conscious thought, and the lower room, subconscious programming. Upstairs you say, I want to prosper. Downstairs a whisper answers, you're not enough. And guess who controls the switch? The lower room. That's why you can read books, repeat affirmations, work harder than ever, and still feel something pulling you back. It's not that the law doesn't work. It's that your program won't let it. The good news, that paradigm can be rewritten, not through force, but through conscious repetition and directed faith. Just as a song becomes familiar through repetition, a belief becomes real when you feel it often enough. When you do, your mind begins to surrender to a new truth, the truth of your power. There's no prison stronger than a false idea about who you are, and there's no freedom greater than remembering you're a creator, not a victim. Bob often said, success is 95% mindset and 5% action. Most live backwards. 99% action, 1% faith. They grind, they hustle, they burn out, forgetting that action without direction is like rowing in circles. Hill taught that every action begins in thought. If your thought is chaotic, your action will be too. That's why people work harder and move slower. The body is the instrument, not the conductor. The mind writes the music. When thought and emotion align, the body performs with divine precision. It's not about doing more. It's about doing from a higher place, certainty. Each morning, ask yourself, from what thought am I acting today? If you act from doubt, you'll create confusion. If you act from faith, you'll create results. Money, opportunities, and ideas aren't rewards for effort. They're responses to your dominant state of mind. Your job isn't to force the physical world. It's to hold an image so clearly that the universe has no choice but to reflect it. That's real discipline. Maintaining the right thought, even when reality hasn't caught up yet. Because when your mind decides, your body obeys, and the entire universe rearranges itself in your favor. In 1961, Bob Proctor wrote a simple sentence on a small card. I earn $25,000 a year. No idea how. No plan. No network. Only faith. Every morning, he read it like a prayer disguised as a goal. Over time, something shifted, not outside, but within. He began to think from that number, to speak as if it were already true, to act like the miracle had already happened. The card wasn't a charm. It was a mental anchor, a physical reminder of an invisible reality. Day after day, that tiny act planted a new identity in his mind. And soon, reality began to move. Clients, ideas, opportunities, all aligning as if the universe had been waiting for him to declare himself ready. That's the power of a goal card. It forces your mind to think about what you want instead of what you fear. Each time you read it, you reprogram your subconscious with a new command. Do it yourself. Grab a small card or paper. Write one clear, bold goal. Not a list, not a vague wish. One vivid declaration that makes you feel alive. For example, I receive $10,000 a month with joy, purpose, and gratitude. I live in harmony with money, health, and love. Carry it everywhere. Read it when you wake up, midday, and before you sleep. Not as a hope, as a fact. Each repetition tells your subconscious, this is who I am. And your mind, which doesn't know the difference between real and imagined, starts building the bridges to make it true. You don't need to know how it will happen. You just need to hold it with faith. The how appears the moment your mind is ready. That small card becomes your daily handshake with universal law, a reminder that wealth, ideas, and blessings don't come from outside. They flow from the consciousness you choose to hold. Most people forget a sacred truth. You're not a body having a spiritual experience. You're a spirit expressing through a body. Your essence isn't limited, broken, or scarce. It's a perfect spark of the Creator, made in His mental and emotional image. Inside you already exists the perfect pattern for health, wealth, and harmony. Bob called it your spiritual DNA. It can't decay or disappear, only be ignored. When you forget it, you start chasing outside what was always within. You chase validation, approval, love, money, but what your soul really craves is to remember who you are. He'll said it simply, God gave us the power to think, and through that power we can create anything. That's your map. Thought plus faith plus aligned action. Nothing more, nothing less. When your mind aligns with that truth, you don't beg for abundance. You become abundance. Because spirit doesn't hoard. It expands. Scarcity only exists when you forget your origin. Remembering restores the flow. Look at your life not as a struggle, but as a masterpiece still being painted with you. Every decision is a brushstroke. Every thought a color. Every act of faith a divine signature on your destiny. Your prosperity isn't a miracle that falls from the sky. It's God's nature working through you. For years, Bob repeated one line that changed thousands of lives. Constant repetition of a new idea reprograms the old paradigm. It doesn't matter your age, your past, or your mistakes. 30 days of focused faith can break decades of conditioning. The brain obeys one law. What you repeat becomes real. So here's your sacred 30-day challenge. No tools but a notebook, a goal card, and your commitment. Morning, 5 minutes. Before you check your phone, read your goal card out loud. Not as a wish, but as reality already done. Feel each word. See it fulfilled. Your mind can't tell the difference. Use that. Then spend 30 minutes on aligned action. Call a client, write, study, create, but do it from the energy of someone who's already achieved it. At noon, pause for 1 minute of conscious breathing. Repeat silently. I am in harmony with the law of progress. At night, before sleep, thank yourself for 3 things done well. Read your goal again softly like a prayer. That's when the subconscious is most open. You're planting tomorrow's reality. Each week, write in your journal. What new thoughts keep repeating? What signs of progress appear? Which emotions don't want to strengthen? Forget perfection. Seek progress. Each word, each minute of faith is a seed reorganizing your mind from within. By day 30, you won't be the same. Your environment will shift. People and opportunities will appear. Because the world didn't change. You did. And when you change, everything responds. This isn't just a routine. It's a daily conversation with God, where your thoughts become prayer, and your discipline becomes faith in motion. When your mind begins to change, the old world will push back, not to harm you, but because it doesn't understand your new vibration. People may doubt you. Situations may shake. You'll feel tempted to return to the familiar. Don't. It's the sacred test, the turbulence before takeoff. Every transformation shakes the ground beneath it, like an airplane trembling on ascent. Your consciousness trembles as it rises, and when the old voice whispers, "It's not working," remember, that's not you. That's the old program trying to survive. Breathe, touch your goal card, and say, "My new story is already written." The subtlest enemy will be impatience. We want to harvest without planting, to see results before believing. But the law of gestation never fails. Every thought has its perfect season. While you wait, don't stop. Keep repeating, acting, believing. Because the silence between sowing and reaping isn't emptiness. It's invisible growth. God is never late. He's just preparing the ground so you can sustain the abundance you asked for. Hold on through the early days, and soon the old noise fades, while a new voice begins to speak, the voice of your purpose. There's a sacred moment at night, when the sky and the mind open together, that instant before sleep, when the subconscious receives its orders. What you plant there is what blooms tomorrow. So before you sleep, turn off the lights of the world and turn on the lights of your soul. Take your goal card, read it slowly, softly, like a sacred promise. Feel each word as if it's already fulfilled. Then close your eyes and walk inside that reality. Don't watch it from a distance. Live inside it. Feel the sounds, the texture, the gratitude of it. That image becomes the seed. Your mind will nurture as you rest. Bob used to say, the subconscious works 24 hours a day, and at night it obeys without resistance. So give it a clear command before you sleep, and whisper 3 words of power. Thank you. It's mine. That phrase closes your day in faith and opens tomorrow in purpose. You'll sleep in peace, knowing that while you rest, your mind and the universe are working in your favor. The moment of decision is now. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect now. Decision is the point, where faith becomes action. And once you declare something to the universe, the echo begins to move in your favor. Type 3 words below in the comments. I reprogram my paradigm. That's not just a comment. It's a command to your subconscious, a signal to your new reality. Write it with conviction, as if signing a contract with your future. Because the moment you do, a new version of you awakens. Every thought you've held today is a seed, and from this instant, your mind is not the same. The old program dissolves, and abundance consciousness rises within you. Never forget this. God didn't send you here to survive. He sent you to manifest His fullness through you. Your prosperity is His language, expressed as life. Walk in faith, because the universe always responds to those who choose to believe first. If this message lit a spark inside you, subscribe to Napoleon Inspires. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to remember their power. And each night before sleep, repeat in silence, I am in harmony with the law of abundance. Because now you know, money, peace, and faith are already walking beside you.